guys, how's it going? So a couple of things. First off, the garden center just got another new load of trees in, so we're gonna go do a little bit of tree shopping. But I want to give you an update on some tulips right here that are right next to me. And we have to run to Joann's because I just started a new knitting project and I need some knitting markers. I'm making a pillowcase that's beautiful, but it's got braids and cables and I don't have enough markers to indicate where those are, and that makes my life a lot easier so I don't have to count all the stitches all the time. And knitting is one of those things I love to do throughout the winter months, and then I cease doing it for months throughout the growing season because I'm always too tired to get anything done. Anyway, let me show you these tulips. Okay, so this is the area, you know, leading up to our fireplace. 600, I think, Vidal tulips. We planted in here year before last. Check it out. Let me see if I can step in here without wrecking anything. I haven't pruned the hydrangeas yet. It's not quite time, but look at all the tops coming up. It's super encouraging to me because sometimes you get varieties of tulips that are really good at coming back and almost naturalizing, and sometimes you get some that aren't as good. So I'm just super encouraged by this because you can see, like where I planted one bulb last year, there was one bloom. Now look, the grouping's bigger. Yay! I know that tulips aren't perennial for all of you guys, and I would be bummed if they weren't a perennial here because it is so much work to plant them. And I'm so just thankful that they come back for us pretty good year after year. First errand is done. I got my knitting markers. That makes me excited. That means I can continue progress on my pillowcase tonight. I actually didn't grow up knitting. My mom tried to teach me. She always has, and she spins wool and all that stuff. And she taught me how to do, taught me spinning a little bit. But we had a little bit of struggles with the knitting because she's left-handed and I'm right-handed. And so I never could get the hang of it. We never jived on that. So it wasn't until I really wanted to knit her something as a gift. That is what forced me to really learn how to knit. And Erin and I were on the coast on a vacation in October one year, and I thought, I want to make my mom something for Christmas. So I started making something and I got myself into it, and I made a huge mistake and I couldn't figure out how to fix it, so I spent a bunch of time on YouTube. And I finally, like, something during that trip clicked, and it just, like, everything fell into place, and all of a sudden it was easy. And now I love it. It's something that, like I said, I only do in the winter months usually, but I love to have something to work on. Like late in the evenings I can watch something with Erin, we can watch a movie, and I can be still productive. Now let's go to the garden center. Okay, so here we go. First off, I wanted to stop off here because I'm thinking I should have one of these, possibly. The Helena Witch Hazel. You can see some of the blooms still left right there, and then mostly, it looks like most of the petals have fallen. There was a Diane. Oh, is this a Diane? No. It's a Diane right here. That's got more red. I think I may want that. Look at the fall color. Okay, so that's an option. I was also watching as my mom, oh, look at this, guys. I was watching as she brought these service berries up the other day. So this is called an Autumn Brilliance, and I just planted one of these, just single trunk form on the west side, but I love multi-trunk trees like this. So this is a contender as well. Grows 20 by 15. Look at that fall color, incredible. And my parents have one of these multi-trunk in their entryway, like right over where you very first walk into their yard. I hope you guys find looking at branches fun, because that's what this video is gonna mostly be. No leaves yet. Blue Muffin Viburnum. I forgot to show the backside of this display after we got done with it the other day, but these are some really neat containers. I really like that finish. And teal. Oh, check it out. These just came in from Unique Stone. I love the chickens. Those are awesome. I might need one for in front of our chicken coop. That can be the resident rooster since I won't have a rooster. Also, we'll go see if Phyllis is out right now. I forgot to show her when we were down here working the other day, and she's still here, rolling around. There she is. Hey, Phyllis. Hey, sweetie. What are you doing? Phyllis. Your face is looking a little dirty, girl. Just a tad. Looks like the work has begun. They started to pot up roses. That's beautiful, isn't it? That looks like a David Austin. I might need to have one of these. Okay, so they are potting up roses and I'm getting really distracted because there's some gorgeous ones, but this is what I'm actually here for. So starting here, look at all of these trees. And if we keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, look at all of those. This is the section I'm going to focus on the most because there's fruit trees here and it's something that I want to add into our garden. I have no idea where, but I know if I don't get them now, I won't get them later. So I want to get like a couple of apricot varieties. Those sell out really quickly. Peach, I did get one peach the other day in Alberta, and then pear. So I want to take a look at all of those, but that's just one thing that I really want to add into our space, mostly for Benjamin. I mean for us too, but for Benjamin, I want him to have those memories. It's such a sweet memory of mine from when I was a kid. My mom used to do what's called harvest dinners, and she'd send us kids out into the garden and say like, I will cook up whatever you bring in to me. So it was kind of up to us. We would just go pick out what we wanted to eat and then she would make it the way we liked it. And it's just such a wonderful memory, and I want Benjamin to have that. Anyway, let's look at some trees. Also, there's a ton of them that haven't even been put on the racks yet. Look at this. This is just like Candyland to me. And you'll notice, like if I were to show you a bunch of these back here, I bet you a big portion of them are red point maples. Yeah, you can see all of these. Red point maples are awesome. I think we planted 7 of them so far at our house. Let me show you a tag. 45 by 25 pyramidal shape, -20, so zone 5. Beautiful red color. I think what sold me on this tree, I planted them in our old garden and they seem to color up earlier than other maple colors, and they hold that color for quite a long time, and then when they drop their leaves they do it all at one time, like within like the span of a week. So you're not out there like cleaning up leaves and then you're out there again a couple weeks later cleaning up more. It's just like once and done, and it's awesome. I don't know if they react that way in every climate, but that's how they grow here. Okay, I'm gonna try my best not to cast shadows here. So this whole rack is like plums. Let's see, there's some specialty ones too. We've got the elephant heart plum. I may want a plum tree. Italian prune. These are all Italian prunes right here. Santa Rosa plum. That looks delicious. It's an emerald butte plum. Okay. Oh, here we go. Bartlett pear. This is kind of what I'm looking for. Is it self-fruitful? Ooh, the light's weird. Sorry, guys. Yep, it says it's self-pollinating, but you could also use Bosque or d'Anjou as a pollinator. Usually your yields are a little bit better if you've got more than one. We are lucky enough to have a neighbor that has a huge orchard just like down our lane. So I don't really have to worry about having multiple varieties of things because it's within the amount, like the right amount of distance for cross-pollination. Pollination. Frost peach. There's no picture of the peach. What the heck? Pretty blooms though. Ooh, a sensation red Bartlett pear. A Red Haven peach. Snow Beauty white peach. And look at these trees. They are full of buds and they're just really nicely branched. They're good looking trees. Flavor Top nectarine, and there's usually Fantasia. Yep. And a Fantasia. There's only one of each left, you guys. That's why I knew I needed to come down here. Like, I don't necessarily want nectarines, but this is what happens. Like, it's only February and there's only one of each variety left. And then we've got the apricots. Now this is what I want to read up about. I think both of these are self-fruitful, but we've got Harcots, I know, down the lane here. Wenatchee Moore Park, which I don't know much about. But it says successful fruit production in climates where spring rains and frost limit apricot culture. Make this a tree of choice for Western Oregon and Washington gardens and orchards. Fruit is delicious when eaten fresh, dried, or canned. Okay. Oh, there's a Tilton too. I don't know anything about this. Tilton apricot. Okay. Self-pollinating. Firm, medium to large fruits with rich flavor. Recommend this widely adapted tree as one of the best apricots for home orchards and the #1 apricot for canning. Fruit is also excellent when eaten fresh or dried. Boy. I might want that one. That sounds good. And then the Haricot. The sweet, juicy, rich flavor of this classic apricot is hard to beat. Late bloom avoids frost damage and crop loss. Resist brown rot and perennial canker. Which one should I do? Tilton or Haricot? I was thinking Haricot, just because I know the most about this variety. So that one says it's a classic. This one says it's a #1. What do you choose? And then all of these are apples. So there's usually Honeycrisp, Gravenstein, Fuji, Pink Lady. Yep, see there's the Honeycrisp right there. Macintosh, Red Delicious, Yellow Delicious. What else? Brayburn. Oh, there's 4-in-1 combos. So this one right here, see that? Right there has a bunch of tags and it's got 4 branches. It's got a Granny Smith, a Gala, a Golden Delicious, and a Fuji, all on the same tree. So if you only have room for 1 tree, this'll do ya. We have so many apple orchards in our area. I'm kind of thinking maybe not planting apples this time around, but just focusing on peaches, pears, and apricots, because apples are easy to come by. Question.
Yes.
If you were to choose between a Frost and a Red Haven peach, which one would you choose? I already have an Alberta.
I would choose the Frost. That's the white peach, right?
Which one? Freestone peach is a slight red blush glow. No. There's a Snow Beauty white peach.
That would be like super sweet. It would be comparing a golden, fall gold raspberry to a heritage raspberry. That peach is just as sweet.
Okay, so the answer is none of the above. Do the Snow Beauty white peach.
Yes.
Okay, I will do that then.
All right.
All right, thanks. Bye. I always need a little extra sugar in my life. We'll go with the Snow Beauty white peach on my mom's recommendation. And I'm thinking maybe one of these red Sensation Red Bartlett pears. I think they're a really pretty one. I think that would be a fun one to grow.
Right now, because I'm like, I'm gonna write that down. I like that too.
Remember. All right, I got my trees all loaded up and we're gonna head home. So there they all are. We've got the Snow Beauty white peach, the Tilton apricot. This is the Sensation Red Bartlett pear. This is the Santa Rosa plum. We've got a Haricot apricot. And then this is the Alberta peach I brought home the other day. So we've got 6 fruit trees in total. So I don't know exactly where these are gonna go in the garden. I do have a fairly good idea, but the area is not prepped yet. But I knew if I didn't get them early enough, they would be gone. So I decided it was worth it to get them early, just have them here. We'll keep them watered, keep them maintained, just probably right here until they're ready to go in the ground. And that way, I'm sure to have the varieties that I want. It's also a really good idea to shop for them early if you possibly can, for that reason, so you get the best pick of variety. But also, if your garden center gets them in early, like my parents always have brought them in as early as possible so they can break dormancy here. Because where they get these from, it's in the more mild side of the state. So if they let them bloom and come, like start breaking dormancy over there, then the cats are about ready to fight. Hold on. Hey, you two. Oh, quit. Cheddar, that's gross. You two know there's bulbs in there, right? Anyway, so if we were to wait any longer and let those trees break dormancy over on the other side of the state and then bring them here where it's colder, then they could possibly have their buds frozen or their blooms frozen and damage the crop for this year, which these trees are older, so they will bear fruit this year. They've got a really nice big root system already. So anyway, we always try to get them in early. I will be thinning these trees quite a bit though, because like if you look at these peaches, if I let all of these buds turn into fruit, look at that. That's a lot of peaches, and that will take an enormous amount of energy away from the tree, where we really do want them to focus on creating a nice root system. Even though they've already got a nice big one, we don't want all of their energy to be spent doing that this year. I will let them produce some fruit though this year, because that's the fun. So when you go and look for your fruit trees, you do want to look for trunks that are as straight as possible, because it will just eliminate any kind of problems later on. You want straight, strong looking trunks without any like scrapes or mars along them. Like these all look really nice. See that? Nice and straight, very healthy, very nice branching on all of these. And that's another benefit of shopping early, because you kind of get pick of the litter. There are a couple other considerations when you're picking out fruit trees. First off, the size of the trees based on what size of area you have. There are, I think, 3 different sizes. There's the dwarfs, like the true dwarf trees, like the Pixie Miniature Peach I planted last year. I think that one tops out at about 6 feet tall. So it's great in a large container. I can just continue to bump that one up in pot size as it grows, or I can put it in the landscape somewhere and it'll tuck into a flower bed, just like a kind of a medium to large size shrub. Then there are semi-dwarf trees, which these are all semi-dwarf. They grow about 15 to 20 feet tall, and you can keep them usually cut back a little bit, like smaller than that if you want to. And then there are standard size trees, which are typically 20 to 25 feet. And I technically have room for standard size trees, but I don't want trees that want to get that big, because that makes picking fruit really hard, and that's not something that I want to mess with. I don't want to have to mess with a bunch of ladders. I'm already going to probably have to mess with ladders a little bit with the size that these get. And then you also, of course, want to consider your planting zone. Go to a reputable nursery where they're bringing in stuff that's appropriate for your growing zone. So just do a little bit of research before you go down. Like I know my parents usually have a list of the fruit trees they have available on their website, and so you can go through and take a look and maybe do a little more further research if you want to, so that you make sure to make a good decision. Because a fruit tree is kind of, to me, it seems like a big decision. Like any other tree, you want to put it where it's going to have good air circulation, good light, and that it'll be fine wherever it's at for the length of its life. Yeah, and they're just more of a long-term commitment than like a smaller size shrub or a perennial or something like that. Like you want to pick something out that's appropriate for your garden and your space. And I don't think I'll ever mess with apples or cherries. Like, I mean, don't quote me on that, but those are the 2 types here that you have to spray an awful lot to keep worms out of, and I don't want to do that. These all right here are really good ones for our area. You don't have to do a ton to them to keep them nice. And that's kind of important to me because we have a lot going on here. So anyway, we will be doing more videos as the season progresses. I might not even get to planting these until the middle of the season. I have no idea. But if they're gonna stay out here by the greenhouse, I'm gonna rig up some kind of a drip system so they get consistent water and they will get plenty of sunshine out here. It's like right at the end of the day right now, and that's why they're in the shade. But this will be a good spot for them to hold over until we're ready. So anyway, I hope you guys found this video interesting. At least you know what's in store for a video later on in the season. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.